What's up guys, it's Kelly, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very middle grade heavy book haul for you. If you find yourself enjoying this, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, it really helps me out, and if you're new here and would like to see more of me, then please subscribe. So I've been absolutely blessed with gifts from publishers and sales reps in the last month, and I have some books to show you all. First up, we have Dragon Daughter and Rise of the Shadow Dragons by Liz Flanagan. This is a middle grade fantasy, obviously it has dragons. I think it's just a duology, and it just sounds so charming and whimsical and magical, and I'm so excited to read it. The commissioning editor of David Fickling Books came to South Africa, and I was invited to go to lunch with her and a couple of the other people that work for my company, and it was really lovely getting to meet her and finding out more about what the landscape is of publishing and middle grade books in the UK. The South African market generally is very similar to the UK market, and our books come from the UK, so it was really interesting to kind of be able to see the similarities and differences, and also just find out like how they do certain things very differently to us. And then she also very kindly brought a stack of David Fickling books with her to give to us, so these are the ones that were given to me, and I'm so excited to read them. So we follow Mila, who is a young servant girl, and she finds 4 dragon eggs and has to keep them secret because, you know, who knows what's going to happen if people find out that she has dragon eggs. But the thing is, these dragon eggs could actually be the key to getting peace back to the city that she lives in, which is currently at war. Mila and her friends are forced to keep these dragon eggs a secret, even though they could mean endangering everyone that she loves. So friendships, forgotten family, and these political tensions eventually collide as Mila's quest to save the dragons helps her on her quest to find out more about her past. I'm expecting these to just be like beautiful and sweet and magical and everything that I want at the moment. Then we have Northwind by Gary Paulson, which was very kindly gifted to me by the lovely folks over at Pan Macmillan, and it has Norse mythology influences, which I'm so excited about. Love that for me. When a deadly plague sort of invades the area that he lives in, an orphan boy called Leif, something Norse, he just flees to the north, trying to navigate the fjords and going on this really dangerous journey across the water. But as he carries on his journey, as he faces all these dangers, he starts to realize that he seems to be heading towards his truest self as he connects with the ocean in a way that he's never connected with anything before. I think this is also just going to be a lovely, gentle read that makes me feel all like soft and just all the feelings. I'm really excited to read this one. Next we have The Revelry by Catherine Webber. This was also gifted to me by the lovely folks at Pan, and I was already excited for this. Like, I opened the package and I read the synopsis and I was here for it, and then that same day or the day after, Lily posted a review of it on her Insta stories, and she really enjoyed it, which just made me even more excited to read it, so I can't wait to get to this one. So we follow Bitsy, who has grown up in this small town, and this town holds a party every year at the end of the year called the Revelry, and it's a party in the woods, and she knows that shit goes down at the Revelry, and she knows to avoid it, not to disturb it. She doesn't need to get involved in all of that. But one year her best friend Amy convinces her that they should crash the party. However, after they leave the party, Betsy's life starts to turn around and things start going very badly. However, Amy seems to have had the complete opposite experience. Suddenly, Amy is just full of luck and everything in Amy's life is going to plan. And Betsy becomes convinced that the Revelry has tied these two friends into a curse that only she can break. Does it not sound absolutely fantastic? It's been recommended for fans of the Wilder Girls, which I did enjoy, so I'm just super excited for this one. I've definitely been enjoying like YA mysteries and thrillers more than I've been enjoying adult ones, and this one just sounds right up my street. I think it's going to be just like so creepy and weird and atmospheric, and I'm here for it. I'm so excited. Then we have 4 books that were gifted to me by our Penguin Kids Rep, which I'm very excited for. I got Cruel Castle by Brian E. Pierce, which is a sequel to Savage Island. This is part of the Red Eye series, which is like a teen and YA horror imprint of Little Tiger. All of the books in this range sound absolutely fantastic, and I don't know a lot about this one, but from what I've been told, Savage Island is kind of inspired by Lord of the Flies, or is like quite similar to Lord of the Flies, but like worse and more horrifying, and I love Lord of the Flies. It's like one of my favorite classics, so I do need to read Savage Island and then get into this one, but I don't want to know too much about it because I think it's always better to go into like mysteries and kind of horror. Slightly blinder, so yeah, I don't know a huge amount of this one, but it's vaguely Lord of the Flies inspired, and I'm super excited to read it. Then she gave me the arc of Wilder Than Midnight by Kerry Burnell. I'm going to pop up an image of the finished cover because it is so beautiful, and I'm also going to read just like the first bit of the synopsis because it sounds so magical. Silverthorn is a place of secrets and stories, a forest full of twisting paths and tangled thorns, a castle with locked towers and murmurs of tragedy, a village trapped between terrors known and whispered, and something is stirring in the leaves. So we follow Aurelia, Sapphi and Wild Rose as they come together in a way that could change Silverthorn forever. This sounds like exactly my kind of fantasy middle grade, full of whimsy, I think a little touch of darkness, female friendships, here for all of it, cannot wait to read this. She also gave me a finished copy of Soul Hunters by Chris Bradford. He wrote the Bodyguard series and the Young Samurai series, which I've heard excellent things about. We meet a girl called Jenna who is saved by a mysterious stranger one night, and she thinks nothing of it until the same boy saves her life about a week later, and she realizes that something might be happening. But the explanation he gives is completely unbelievable. He tells her that a long-forgotten foe has tracked her across lifetimes and is desperate for Jenna's soul. So she has no choice but to trust him, and they go on the run so that Jenna can save not only herself, but in the end, the whole human race, because this is so much bigger than she ever could have imagined. Honestly, if I'd been 12 for like 2 more years, I probably would have ended up reading every Chris Bradford book, because this sounds exactly like the sort of book that I would have loved when I was like 12, 13. I mean, I loved the Alex Rider series, I loved the Young Bond series, and I think this is just going to hit that spot for me, but with a touch of the supernatural. I'm like, here for it, can't wait. And lastly, she gave me Furthermore by Darren Simpson, which is described as a Monster Calls meets Coraline, and honestly, she told me that and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm sold. That's all I know. That is all I need to know. Then we have 2 books that my husband actually got from one of his Jonathan Ball reps, which I stole. The first one is When a Killer Calls by John Douglas and Mark Olshaker. They are the authors of Mindhunter, which is obviously turned into the Netflix show. I have always liked true crime. I've always liked crime shows, and I've enjoyed like the true crime documentaries that I've watched. I listened to the audiobook of Mindhunter last year and I really, really enjoyed that. I found it fascinating. And this year I really want to take myself on a journey of like rediscovering myself and just making time for the things that I love, that make me feel alive, that make me feel like myself, but that I haven't made time for in the last few years. I'm really just hoping that that's going to be the improvement that my mental health needs. And I think one of those things is going to be investing more time in true crime, reading some true crime books, watching some more documentaries, and I'm really excited to start with this book. It follows the case of Larry Jean Bell, which I don't know very well at all. I know really nothing about it. One of his victims was called Sherry Smith, which does vaguely ring a bell, but yeah, I guess I'm interested to see what happened, what this case was like, and how they went about solving it. The other one that I stole from him was A Lady's Guide to Fortune Hunting by Sophie Irwin, which, given everyone's excitement around Bridgerton at the moment, I feel like y'all should probably pick this up. I'm going to read the little synopsis to you. In 1818, fortune doesn't favour women, but it always favours the brave. Kitty Talbot and her sisters have just 12 weeks until their family home is repossessed. There's only one thing for Kitty to do: launch herself into London society and bag a rich husband. Nobody can stand in her way, except perhaps Lord Radcliffe, whose keen gaze cuts straight through Kitty's meticulous ruse. The season is about to begin and there's not a minute to lose. This just sounds like it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to read it, and if you have any recommendations for something similar, then please let me know, because I think I want to do a reading vlog, reading like this, maybe the first Bridgerton book, and then something else that's kind of along similar lines. And then lastly, we have That Green-Eyed Girl by Julie Owen Moylan, which sounds fantastic. This was given to my husband for me by one of our Penguin reps, and she gave it to him and she was like, I think Kelly would enjoy this, it's very weird. And I am just very glad that I have established myself as the sort of person who likes weird stuff. I love that so much for me. So I sat in the sales meeting that included this book about a week before my husband did, and as the book was being sold to us, I was like, yes, I want to read this. And so I was very excited to get the arc of it. It's set in mid-century New York, which I was sold from that point on. But there's also a mystery afoot, so we follow 2 women in 1955 who are lovers but are keeping that part of their lives a secret to the world, to the outside world.
And historians will call them close friends.
20 years later, in 1975, we meet a girl called Ava, who is living in the same apartment, keeping her own secret. Her mother is deranged, erratic, haunted by something that Ava just can't understand, and one day in July, she goes missing. Ava is confused, startled, scared, unsure of what to do. Soon after her mother goes missing, Ava receives a parcel, and inside this parcel she finds a picture of a woman that she doesn't know with the word liar scrawled across it. She doesn't know what it means, she doesn't know who sent it, but maybe if she can find out, she can find out what happened to her mother. And when I read this extract on the back, this was the part that really sold me. The box was filled with crumpled old papers, a whiskey tumbler, and some photograph albums containing black and white pictures of smiling young women. Some had come unstuck, and one floated face down onto my lap. A young woman smiled into the camera. She was pretty. Not what you would call beautiful, but her smile was bright and full. None of that was what I noticed first, though, because across her face someone had scrawled a single word. Liar. This feels like it's going to be kind of like a neo-noir mystery set in mid-century New York. Like, it's all the things I love. Can't wait to read it. That is it for today's book haul. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you thought of any of the books that I've mentioned, if you've read them. I'm really excited to get stuck into all of these. I have been slumping hard, as you know, and I'm really hoping that middle grade might be the thing to get me out of it. So I'm really excited for all of these lovely middle grade fantasies that I think are just going to make me really happy and make me feel lots of warm and fuzzy things. If you did enjoy this, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't already. In the description you'll find links to all of my other social media. That's my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, as well as my blog and my TikTok. You'll also find links to my Ko-fi account, my Redbubble store, my online store, my Blackwells affiliate link, my Script affiliate link, and my new Amazon store where I am designing and selling journals if you'd like to support me using any of those. But that's it from me today, and I shall see you all again very soon. Bye!
My life is grounded in